Angela, I was like, hey, like, you know, I'm so happy for you. And it really didn't, like, it really didn't, like, I didn't get upset. And I don't, like, think poorly of you because I just didn't want to communicate what it made me feel in that moment because I'm trying to grow as a young man and, like, and having been somebody who had no ability to communicate his feelings, like, I don't want to live my life that way. And I want to grow. And so I was like, me as a younger, immature man, I would have been like, revenge tour, let's go. You know, I would have been like, I'm coming back at you, you better be ready. Like, I would have gotten so hot and like motivated. And I'm like, but through what I've had to learn in my life, like, I had to stop and be like, what are you feeling? And like, what is that? Is it something worth being upset? Is it something worth, you know, and just kind of
let it go? Can you communicate it?
And just
What do you have to do?
process. And so she was like, I wish you told me before HOH. And I was like, well, I wanted to take some time to just think, like, what am I actually feeling in that? And then I was like, when you won, I was not going to tell you the night because I did not want to take away from like how much like that meant to you. And so she was like, and I was like, I knew I was going to talk to you today. Like, so she was like, man, that was so meaningful. Like, thank you so much for that. And so I was like, absolutely. Like, because that's really who I am. And so I was like, that's what I've been thinking that you're gonna for me. And she told me, she was like, I'm not putting you on the block. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, because I was kind of like,
you were worried. You told us you were worried.
I was like,
but you know what? I'm proud of you for having that adult conversation with her. I'm proud of you for like going through that moment within yourself of self-reflection, being like, oh, it is something I need to clear up. And like, that's good because you are like, I don't want to be positioned like this, perceived like this, like, or this is how this made me feel. And then like, hopefully you build some trust with her, and hopefully you're not that like the calm. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like you trusting yourself.
It was a win-win.
It was a win.
It was a win-win.
Do you have any idea what's happening?
So I don't know. Like I think the only names I've heard is that obviously, like, I think she's thinking it's gotta be the least amount of blood. So like that, and because that's been the rhetoric going around with the change. It's like,
is that there's like it's hard because
I think no blood means there's two things I think, in my opinion, that could happen. One, that the least amount of blood are going to be the people who just aren't playing hard enough. I think that's like Decor. I think that's like Kenny. I think that's like, like, you know, the people who aren't playing hard enough. So I don't know if that's true or not. I just think that's like, if she put me up and like if I got nobbed after noms, I was gonna, let's say I get nominated.
You're gonna kick ass and win.
I'm gonna be like, you give me 2 opportunities to go get myself off, and I get one, and I'm back in the game, and you put me up. I want you to know I'm coming for your ass, and you give me time. I was like, even if I don't win the 2, I think I have a strong chance to rally some votes to not go, no matter what. So I was like, and if all that doesn't work, then maybe it was just my time to go. You know? I don't either, because
but you don't know.
Because everybody who I've talked about it with has been like, Matt, she would be crazy to put you up. Like, because people like you. And she was like, people genuinely want you. Here's that. This summer is fun. You know? And I was like, oh, that's really nice. But I was like, they were like, it would be crazy for her to put somebody up who, like, is in the top, like, can probably get themselves off. And then also has a social game enough to, like, get back. So, I feel kind of good.
Okay. Do you feel better after your conversation? Kind of make like a little bit more settled.
After our conversation, like, I felt great. But then, like, so I think that's number one. She asked me, she was like, who's one person you want to put up? I've asked everybody this. And so I said, what I would do, I was like, if it was me, I'd put up the first team that was voted out for the HOH comp. I was like, that way, no blood. It's not your fault they didn't win that. which I love them, but I was like, I don't want them to go.
Do you think any of them are a threat?
No. Okay. I just think that's how you get no blood.
No blood is like the easiest of like you lost the competition.
In first HOH with change, you need no blood. That is prime. That's prime. You gotta go.
She's in a great position. I think it's a good person to be HOH. Yeah. But like I think this decision has the capability of setting the tone for the game.
Yeah.
I mean, like it does.
It could, but at the same time,
at the same
time, it could screw her game.
Yeah.
It could really hurt her game.
I think she'll make a good decision.
This is an HOH that you could be gone next week. Easy. It's so different than two people because you got three people and you got then you got X amount on this side, X amount of X on this side in your alliance that can fight for you and give you a veto and then not vote you out. Now it's like you got 4 people that can be pissed off. You don't even know they can be on multiple sides. They could come together, whatever. Like okay, great, you got the threat out.
Like you're beloved in the house, so like.
Oh, like it's not even that. It's that you just showed like you're gunning for people. So like think about blood. You gotta get the right blood. So that's why I'm like the people this week, like that you can spare some blood. The people not playing, and you just gotta play harder. Like it's like if you haven't talked to anybody about like what you think, and like, and so I think there's a couple of those out there. I think that there's it's probably Chemo, Deagle, Kenny, and probably Cam. Cam.
Why Cam? I thought you were typing that.
Like it, but I don't think he's talking game. He doesn't know the show at all. He's never. He doesn't know what Modev is. He doesn't know the show. So I think he's kind of like, he kind of come in and was like, I'm going to make homies and like, rock with my guy, you know? Like, he's sticking with that. Right?
What's your read on the guys?
I think the guys outside of JoJo and Lynn are the like, we all compete, baby.
What's your take on Joseph?
Joseph's new to the game too. Like, I just think you should clear the air with it.
You were already circulating.
Yeah, and he told her that before I went in because he was like,
he told you that.
Like he was like, I was there when she said it. I felt the same thing. So he was like, I want to kind of communicate with this, and so he went and said that before, and then it also kind of said, and then I was talking to MJ about it. It was about us, and she feels really close with Angela, so she was like, man, like she's been nothing but kind to me, and like, because there was a point I was like, should I go in and be like, hey, that's what we're on, like, let's play, you know, because that's an LT man, because I would do that, and she was like, man, she's been nothing but nice. I think she's sweet. She's the best person to be HOH, like, she's super kind, blah 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 blah. Like, just go in and be honest with her, but don't take the like, we're trying to play, let's play. So she kind of like settled that, and I was like, you're right, you know, and that's what we did. So I think like, I don't know, who do you think she put up?
I don't know. I don't have any read on anything.
No one's approached you about one?
No.
Really? Oh my God, I need to tell you this. I totally forgot.
What?
I meant to tell you this.
Tell me.
So, when I was like getting in my head about all this stuff, when you pulled MJ to the hammock, I thought you were working with Angela, and y'all were trying to convince MJ to flip on me.
Wait, what?
That's what your brain does in this game.
Are you okay?
You think about stuff like that. You're like, what if that's the case?
You spiraled on day one.
I was like, dang.
I talked to her. Like, we were just getting to know each other.
And that's why I'm like, dang, like, I gotta like tell myself to chill.
I'm not
But
in
it's a game.
I'm not in any alliances. Like, I don't know if alliances are forming yet. No one's approached me.
I'm not in one.
No one's approached me about like anything.
I'm still trying to just like be like I want to be in alliance with people I like.
Yeah.
And so I'm still trying to be like, who do I like to hang out with?
I think we're all like getting to know each other, right?
Yeah.
And like figuring out. I think things are gonna start to be formed after our decision.
After noms. You think?
I don't think any like
Has anybody pulled you to talk game at all?
like yes and no. People are like, hey, like, who do you think has the power app? Or like, hey, what do you think HOH is gonna do? But like, I don't think it's really like clear on like I don't think anyone is like super set in. I think everyone's sussing everything out.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what's going on.
Right.
Like I'm sussing everything out too.
Right.
And I think after the competition starts, like the competition's already started, but I think after she makes her decisions, I think then.
So if you had to choose 3 that she would put up, what do you think? That you think she puts up?
Well, obviously not you.
Well, she told me straight to my face. I was like, and so even if she did, which like she could play